Welcome, people. Today I'm going to interview a friend that I met in the UK. My guest today is Nisha, and she's here to help me learn some cultural information about Nepal. Welcome, Nisha. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi, Cece. It's so good to be here. Thanks for having me.
No, thank you for being here. And please talk to us about please talk to us about you.
So, I'm Nisha. I grew up in Nepal. I had a really good childhood stay in Nepal. I went to school. I went to the nursery. I have a lot of relatives still back in Nepal, and my grandma still lives in Nepal as well. So yeah, I basically grew up there, and then I moved to the UK with my whole family 10 years ago. And I think I was quite young, yeah, when I moved here. So I was like 15, 24 now. And so yeah, I've been living here, I would say, quite comfortably with my family. Yeah.
Nice, great. Okay. So, right, let's start with the questions now. I would like to ask you, the first question is, when you were ill in your childhood, do you recall receiving from your parents any care practices or like home remedies which you used to consider as common treatment practices and which you have now realized that they were like special cultural practices?
Growing up, my grandma, she took care of me a lot. My dad was always away and my mom was like busy. So my grandma, she she used to take care of me a lot. And whenever I had like sore throat, or like even like cold, she would always like make me this like tall glass of water, like warm water, and in it she would put like garlic and then like turmeric. Yeah. And then she would just like make me chug it down.
Wow.
It didn't taste that nice. Honestly, it was one of the whoa. I was like, why would she do that to me?
Wow.
But yeah.
Did it work?
I feel like, honestly, it used to like really soothe my throat after like few minutes. 10 to 15 minutes. And it used to like, I don't know. It was like, when you have Lemsip, it used to give me like that sort of feeling. Like, after you have Lemsip, your throat just feels so nice and like, yeah, it doesn't like ache as much. Yeah, it used to give me that feeling.
Okay, can you describe a thing that you were doing as a child with your family or with friends, which you thought that is like a common thing to do, a common behavior among people, but you now know it was like a special cultural practice?
So, as I said, I moved to UK when I was quite young. And like growing up, I only grew up with like predominantly Asian people around me. And I just feel like there's something about the hierarchy. Like everyone wants to know where everyone stands. Say, if someone's older than me, then they're expected to be respected by me.
Mm-hmm.
And, if someone's younger than me, then I have to take care of them. It's just a thing. So, say, for example, you are older than me, then I would never call you by just your first name.
Wow.
I would add, so if it's for a girl, then it'd be you'll be Didi. That means like Cici Didi, Cici sister. It would never just be Cici. That's just considered really rude. So yeah, they have like a gender, like a noun, like gender noun. So if it's a girl, then it's a Didi. If it's a boy, then it's a Dai. And if it's a younger sister, then it's a Baini. And if it's a younger brother, then it's a Bhai. So everyone has their own sort of like, yeah. So like a title, like everyone has a title.
If I was to speak to you then and we were in Nepal, I would have said Nisha Baini?
Yeah, so you'd be Nisa Baini and then talk to me.
Nisha
Yeah.
Baini.
But then, yeah, but then if you're like really close to someone and you feel comfortable around each other, then it doesn't really matter. I feel like especially like my generation, I mean, we do care, like we still value our tradition and culture, but it's, you know, it's not as strict as it used to be. Like, I mean, I call my sister, she's like a lot older than me, just by her first name. It's not an act of disrespect. It's just to show that we're really close. So yeah, it's not something rude. So yeah, that's me. Isn't that weird? Like, yeah.
Well, let me ask you something on this. So, when you came here, did you know it before you go to school that it's going to be different, or you just had to learn the hard way, like going to school and then seeing those people out, or hearing those people speaking to you like Nisha?
No. I wanted to mention something. That is, but everything changes when you go to school, like in Nepal as well. So if you're in the same class, and you have friends around you, and even if they're older than you, doesn't like the title doesn't really matter anymore, because yeah. Because like it's, I don't know, for some reason it just doesn't work anymore. Like, you are all equal if you're in the same class, like same year group. It doesn't matter, you're in the same, like, you're just all equal. So the title thing doesn't really like go with your friends. Your friends are just your friends. They're just like first name basis. And then, I mean, I already knew a lot about the culture here, so I wasn't really like you know, I wasn't really expecting much. So I already knew what, you know, I was getting into. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it is like I did find it weird though, because like, even say if you, I don't know, my neighbors, right, back in Nepal, I would always call them like uncle or auntie. But then here you can't just like call some random neighbor like, hey uncle. So yeah, it was just considered rude to, like, you know, even to strangers. Like, you can't really use their first name to like call them. Like, back home, you would always, if you don't know what their name is, or like, yeah, if you're not related, you just like automatically assume them as like a dai, or like uncle, auntie, or didi, and then you can't really do that here. So yeah, I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It does, actually, it does. And it's quite similar in my culture as well. Not the same, of course, but yeah, I do get the similarities in a sense. All right, so let's move on. So I would like you to describe a typical day of your childhood at any age you prefer. Like something you did from the morning until the time you went to bed.
So I just feel like I wanted to like go back to my like memory lane. I mean, I could have just like picked out like any day that, you know, from like when I was here, but I feel like it'd be more interesting to like kind of go back and see how I lived as a child in Nepal. So as at age 12, listen to this, oh my god, I used to wake up at 7 a.m. for school. Can you believe that? And then yeah, I used to just do my like usual stuff, get myself to the kitchen for breakfast. My mom would always make me some really good stuff in the morning, and I would eat it with my siblings, and then I would like immediately like get dressed, because we had like school uniforms. I don't know if you had them, but we had like school uniforms that our school gave us, and we were like, they were pretty strict about like how, like, you know, it should be worn. So yeah, did that, and then around 8 a.m. I used to go to the like bus station, and we had like a school bus. It would like always be there, so we would just like, get on it, and then I used to get to the school by 8:30. And I should just be there all day. And I feel like, yeah, my school was pretty, I think I had like good memories in school. Do you want me to like, I don't know. Like, school was just normal. It's just like, you go there, study, and then you just want to go home. But yeah, I used to like have my lunch and my like snack there as well. It was provided for me. And I used to like get home around like 3:30. Like the bus would, the same bus that picked me up would also like drop me back home.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, my mom would just like, she would always make me something. And then I would just eat that. And then, usually by around 4 p.m., usually about like 4 to 4:30 p.m. I used to have like this teacher, like he used to give me like private lessons because I guess I wasn't that good at studying. So yeah, I used to have like session until 6 p.m. and like my whole day just used to be like so intense because I would like wake up early and then come home and then have like the private tuition, and then after that I would like have to do my homework as well, and then after that I would like finally have dinner and go to bed. So it was pretty hectic.
Actually,
Yeah.
Nisha, I keep hearing you, and I wanted to tell you that it's really similar to my childhood because school started 10 past 8, also in Greece as well. So we had to be there at 8 o'clock. We had to be at school as well. And then we also do private lessons in the afternoon, no matter what age. Yeah, it's the same thing as well. We do private lessons for school and stuff. And yeah, then we study as well later on for school. So that's, I don't know, because here in the UK they don't really, I feel like they don't really do it. So I thought it's something like they do in Greece.
Honestly, because I thought it was just an Asian thing. Like
it's not, I can tell you. Wow.
Because they're also like, they take education very seriously and they want all their kids to be like, really doing well in their classes. And I wasn't doing that well, so yeah, I thought it was just a thing.
I know how you feel. I know how it was for you because it was similar to me. I really need
Honestly,
help.
It was painful.
Yeah.
Like the weekdays, oh my god, it used to be so long. I used to always pray for the weekend. And then, and still on the weekend, I didn't have those, the Saturday, Sunday off. It would only be Saturday. Like, we only had Saturday off. And then Sunday, we would go back to school.
Wait,
so it was in...
Wait, Sunday you had school? Oh, you mean the private school?
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's just school, normal general school day.
Normal general
everywhere
school
in Nepal.
is Sundays as well?
Yeah, so back home, Sunday was like the start of the week, not Monday.
Oh, okay.
For me, like, so I used to always start off with like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, whereas here you're like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh, but then in some of the schools, I think they get like Friday as a half day, which means they get to go home early and then enjoy like say Friday evening and then have the Saturday off as well. So yeah, it was pretty intense.
Right. Okay.
Education was like, whoa, it's tough.
Okay.
So yeah.
Right, let's move on to the next question. So, let's say that somebody would say to you, Nisha, I want you to make a card postal about Nepal or about your hometown. What would you choose? Which buildings or?
One of my all-time favorite, say like iconic building is also a religious, like a building situation. So it's called Buddha Stupa. So emphasis on Buddha, and it's one of the UNESCO's like World Heritage Site because it is part of our history. And it's like so popular with tourists, honestly. Every time I've been there, there's always been like loads of tourist people. Like there's just so much. It's so beautiful. You need to go see it someday. And what it is, it's just like it's basically a white dome structure. So can you imagine that, like a white dome? And then and then on top of the dome is like a really it's a it's a cone shaped gold structure. So it's a dome, and then on top of it it's like a gold shaped structure, and like it looks like a upside down cone. The building itself like holds a lot of value and meaning within the Buddhist community. So you'll see people from like all around Nepal coming in to like visit and to pray. And then honestly, the moment you walk into the entrance, you'll see a lot of like traditional shops, and you'll hear this like really nice like enchanting like traditional music, and like the monks praying. It's not just the building itself, it's the atmosphere, I would say, that makes the whole like everything really like beautiful and like truly magical, honestly. You have to go there someday. So yeah, that I hope like I explained it well, and you can like, you know, it's
No, you did
something
actually
similar.
You did. Describe a local festival or a cultural celebration at your hometown or nearby. What is a celebration for? What are some common cultural practices there?
Okay, so Nepal is very diverse. This is something you need to know. There's so many ethnic groups. There's so many different type of people living in there, and we all have our own special traditions and our special celebration. So it's amazing. And so my ethnic group and my last name is Gurung. So, and that's also my ethnic group. It's called Gurung. So back in the olden times, Gurungs used to have their own special calendar, and so during the New Year's we would have this like really big celebration, and we used to just like people used to just gather around and like feast with like lovely foods, and you know, communities would just like come together and celebrate that day. But so yeah, but then in modern time, Nepal has our own calendar. I think we follow a different one from like the general calendar, which is you know, the one that we use now in UK. It's a different one. So the Nepal one is a different one, and and we have like, I don't know, I have 3 different, say, New Year's that I get to celebrate. So one from like, yeah, one from the English one, and then the other one's from the general Nepal one, and then the other one is the Gurung one. So I get to celebrate a lot. I'm just saying that. I'm a party animal.
Do you get presents 3 times a year as well, or it's just
no, not presents, unfortunately. It's just like a family. It's like a family thing. We just like to get together and then eat delicious food, like dance around. You know, just a family thing. Yeah.
Yeah. That's so
Ooh,
nice,
and then
actually.
we also have our own like traditional attire. So the Gurung community, we have our own traditional attire, and during like the Gurung's New Year's, we like to, like, my mom, she makes us wear them, and it's really cute. I love wearing it, and then we take like loads of pictures. It's really cute. So yeah. But in Nepal, when I used to celebrate the New Year's in Nepal, oh, by the way, it's called Losar. I don't think I mentioned that. Huh. But yeah, when we were in Nepal, um, there would be like a special venue picked out, so gurung from all over the country could like come there and then be
Oh,
with the whole like say
okay.
gurung community, and like everyone would be dressed up in like the traditional attire, and they'd be selling some like traditional food. Like there'd be so many stalls, and there'd be like so many like programs, and like just yeah, people would be just singing and dancing, and it would just be amazing.
That was my next question. Like, if there's a difference between the celebration during the general Nepali New Year and the Gurung Nepali New Year. But I think now I get it that probably it's the uniform and maybe some more special foods and some more specific dances. Or and would somebody that is out of the like Gurung family would, like for example me, would I be able to join this New Year's like venue? Or
Of
all
course,
right,
yeah, yeah. Anyone can go in. Yeah, anyone can go in. Like you can, everyone's invited. Like everyone's like welcome
all right.
there. Like I remember a lot of like tourists would just come in and take pictures with us and like eat food and enjoy themselves. So there's nothing really like no, there's nothing really that strict. We're just everyone's
Okay,
welcomed.
that's so nice to hear.
I think you just need to buy like the ticket outside or something, and then you can just go in and enjoy
Wow, that's
yourself.
so nice. Okay.
So yeah, that was pretty fun.
And is it the same month as the like? Is it like
hmm
close to December, January, or is like completely different? Or is it the same date every year? Or
No, it's always different because I feel yeah, the date revolves around like the moon, like the lunar moon.
oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay, I
so
see.
it's always changing. Wow, I know the Nepali date, but I don't know the like English
No,
date
no, that's
for
okay.
it.
That's okay. I mean, even that information was like new for me, so
But
don't worry about it.
it's normally after New Year's, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
During
Okay.
Feb, March. I'm not sure, I'm sorry.
Oh, wow.
So
No, that's
yeah,
okay. No problem at all.
that's me.
All right. Nice. Nice. Okay, let's move to the next question. Unless you had anything else to add, or can I move to the next question?
Yeah, we can move on. Let's
All
go.
right. All right. So, what kind of folk art can a person buy in the countryside or in a folk festival at your hometown or nearby? Or even any kind of celebration that people go there and there are like sellers around. What kind of products or crafts or I don't know what things that you are able to buy there?
So Nepal, like I said, Nepal is a very religious country, and there are almost about 81% are Hindus. So we have a lot of temples, and often you can see like shops surrounding the temples. So, and then those shops normally make like handmade goods. So it be either be like a painting or like a wooden sculpture. So yeah, and those shops are like normally ran by the same family throughout generations. So they kind of like learn like techniques and like arts through their like as a family within the family. So yeah, you can find a lot of like I said, like paintings, statue, portraits, and like like normally like of a lot of gods, because in Hindu religion there yeah like we have a lot of gods. So and everyone like is special. So yeah, they just have a lot of paintings. You can just buy them. Like say if you just visit like a temple, you'll always find a shop around it, so you'll always find something. And even like handmade jewelries or like necklace, and then it will normally have like the religious symbols in it.
I see, I see. Okay. Right. let's move on. So let's say that somebody would want to hear your culture's traditional or folk music. What instruments or singing practices should anyone expect to hear while listening to the music?
So I think you're more likely to hear basuri. So basuri is very similar to a flute,
Oh, okay.
and but it's like a wooden instrument, and I don't know. I feel like I've heard basuri a lot when I hear like the really traditional sort of music, and also a sarangi, and a sarangi is like very like has like similar characteristic of a violin, but it sounds more raw. It's made out of like wood, and I think it only has 3 strings. And it's a very it doesn't sound a lot like a violin, but then when you think about a violin, it's a string sort of like you like you imagine like string music. I don't know. Yeah, so it's sarangi is basically that, but it's just a bit more raw. And but for some reason I think it goes well with like the traditional music, and when you add more instruments on like layer, when you layer it with other instruments, I feel like it sounds really nice. So yeah,
Okay.
I think those two are the most common and like popular instruments that you're likely to hear.
Okay. Okay. Right. Okay, let's move on to the next question. I would like to ask if there is like a scary folk tale that parents normally tell their children when they want them to like comply, like to sleep early or eat their food. And is there any like folk villain or folk hero?
Right, so I grew up for like I think my early childhood. I grew up in a small city, and we had a lot of superstitious. I mean, my grandma was very superstitious, so we just had a lot of like folk tales, and one of them is just so basically if I wouldn't listen to anyone per se, then my mom would just be like, oh, the chudel is basically like a dead girl, I think, like a dead woman. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, like a dead woman. Yeah, like will come and eat you is what
Oh
my
my
mother would say.
god. Oh my god, this is so scary. And what's the story of the girl? Why she's dead, and why she wants to eat people if they don't behave?
I have no idea, but my mom used to describe her as like a person. Like the lady had like a long hair, and then she would always be wearing like a white.
Are you describing? Are you describing to me The Ring, the very popular scary movie?
No. It's honestly, no. It's not the same as The Ring. Okay, so basically, so yeah, she has a long hair, and she always wears like a white sari, which is like a draped, and then like her foot would always be like how our foot is like facing front, it would always be facing back.
Ew, man, this is so scary. Wow.
And then and I also think I think she also told me that she's called a chudel because she's like a unmarried woman. And I know, I just remember something.
Okay.
So right, if okay, I remember everything now. So if if a girl dies before getting married, then she becomes a chudel. So if a girl dies
Okay.
before, like, you know, she's married, then she becomes a chudel, and then she just like haunts people. And it's like it's worse for the guys because chudels are known to like seduce unmarried unmarried man because she wants to get married.
All right.
Yeah.
Because I was
So
about
that's the general
to ask.
story.
Okay. Because I was about to ask if, like, for boys, it's like a similar, like, dead boy that hunts
Yeah,
them, but it's
it's
always this
similar.
girl.
So yeah, it's honestly, yeah.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
you know, it was easy to use on everyone. And then yeah, and then there used to be like, so if for example there's a horror TV show, then the antagonist would always be a chudel, and she would always like be wearing a white sari with like long hair, and like, you know, it used to be
Wow,
really
man.
scary. So yeah, my mom so yeah, if
Yeah.
I did something naughty, then my mom would always say, oh, the chudel is gonna come for you tonight. So you,
Gee.
yeah, it was just really scary. I was traumatized for like, yeah, throughout my childhood, and then I realized that it was not a
Yeah, I
real
would as well,
thing.
man. I think I'm traumatized tonight. I don't know.
Uh, I'm sorry. But
Oh
yeah,
my god. I might have to
I
call you
feel
tomorrow
like
just to tell you if I'm alive. Yeah?
I feel like it's the same story in India as well. So yeah, I think it's like an Asian thing, I guess. Like we all share like a similar story, like
Okay.
chudel, or but my grandma used to refer it as my grandma used to also refer a witch as a boxy. And yeah, witch were just like no for my grandma. So every time I would get like a bruise on my body, she would say like, oh, the boxy came and sucked your blood. And so you have to be nice, or like
So
you
who's
have to do
Boxy?
good deeds.
What is Boxy? A spirit? Is
Boxy is
Boxy
just a
like a...
witch.
Oh, a
It's
witch.
just a
Okay.
witch. Yeah,
Okay.
like a boxy is just a witch, and it would just normally, if you're being bad, then they would just
Yeah.
normally come and suck your blood. But at the end of the day, it was just a bruise that I got. Like, you know, whenever like my grandma used to see like a purple or a blue bruise, she would just immediately tell me that, oh my god, yes, a boxy came and sucked your blood off because you were being bad. And I used to just be there like, oh my god, what did I do? What did I do to deserve this?
Well, I can say for
So
sure
yeah.
that Boxy doesn't sound... Now that you already told me about Chadal, what's her name? I don't think that Boxy's...
Yeah.
Chadel. I don't think that Boxy is really
Chudel.
scary.
No, but boxy is like they suck up your blood though. Isn't
Yeah,
that
but
scary?
the other one is like, oh my god, it's like the ring. Oh, anyway.
I'm sorry if I like, I don't know, went into too much details
No,
about,
no,
you
no, no.
know,
You
the
did well.
Chudel's
I asked for it.
characteristics.
No, I asked for it. No, you did well. You did well.
Aww.
All right. So let's
So
move on to the
yeah.
next question. Oh, did you want to add something?
No, that's everything.
Okay.
That's all. Unless you want more.
So, no, hell no. So, you've already mentioned that there are other ethnic groups in Nepal and everything. So I assume there are spoken variations of the main language or even different languages. I don't know. So tell me how people react when see each other, like when they speak each other, but they speak different variation or another dialect, or like do people understand each other, or how is it?
So yeah, I would say we have like different dialects and language depending on their ethnic groups, but everyone is taught Nepali. So you might have as your, like, you know, my ethnic group, I have my own Gurung language. But I don't know how to speak Gurung language, unfortunately. My mother doesn't either.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah, but we were just taught Nepali growing up. And in Nepal, if you want to go to a school, then you must learn how to speak Nepali. And you might have your own language in your home, but when you go to the, you know, outside world, you would always like speak Nepali. So no matter, like, you know, how many language everyone speaks, everyone can speak Nepali, so everyone can understand each other.
I see. All right, okay.
I mean, you might get a variation of accents, but I wouldn't say that, you know, affects anyone from like understanding each other. So yeah,
Okay.
it's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah, it is actually. It is. Okay, let's move on to the best section, I think, which is the food. Right. Let's say somebody goes to Nepal. What is a common street food you can find there? But street food, okay?
Street food. I would say there's this food called chatpate, and that's basically
Chapate, okay.
chatpate. Chatpate means like something like spicy and like tangy, and it's the same in India as well. I think chatpate came from, like, traveled our way to Nepal from India, and it's a very common food in India as well, but we love it in Nepal, honestly. So it's basically like puffed rice. Have you ever had puffed rice before?
Is it like a hollow bowl that you pour a sauce in it? No.
No. So puffed rice does not taste anything like rice at all. It's crispier. Like, you know, the rice grain is, so when you go to a normal supermarket and then you look at the rice, then the rice grain are like small, tiny, right? Whereas the puffed rice are like bigger, because they've been puffed, and they have this like sort of crunchy texture. And then chatpate, the main, say, the base is the puffed rice, and then you put a lot of like spices, like, and then potatoes, chili, coriander, and then you mix it together, and oh, it's so good. But you don't like spicy, do you? So you wouldn't enjoy it as much. But girl, to me, it's heavenly. It is so good, honestly. I wish we had that here. But yeah, chatpate is very common. And I don't know, street food. I would say momo is also a street food. Although there are a lot of like momo restaurants, I've also seen like momo sold as a, you know, as a part of the street food. Like, I have seen like a lot of vendors, yeah, lined up. So momo is very popular. And you've tried momo, haven't you, Cece?
I'm not sure. Have I?
The dumplings.
Oh, the dumplings. Oh, yeah. They're
Yeah,
lovely.
they're basically
They're
called
lovely.
momos.
I
Yeah.
can eat, you know what? I can eat like 50 of them.
Oh, dude.
Okay, let's move on to the next
Oh,
question.
it's so good. But yeah. Oh, do you want me to tell you the origin of momos?
Of course, yes. Go ahead.
Yeah, so momo is technically not like Nepali origin, because obviously we all know that dumplings came from China, and China is pretty close to Nepal, and we share a border with Tibet, and Tibet is also part of China, but we share a border with Tibet, and you know, dumplings were just very popular all over China, and then when people from Tibet like came down to Nepal, they also brought their own history, culture, and food with them, and I guess that's how we got our momos. So I mean, I would say the Chinese dumplings are a bit like bit on the like safe side. Like our momos, we have like a lot of spices in them. I feel like Nepali food in general is very like spicy, not just the hot spicy, just like I would say like a lot of spices, like ingredients, like spices to it. And we like to dip our momo with chutney, which is just like a sauce, and it goes so well together. I don't think like in China or like in the rest of the country they have chutney like ours. I feel like they would normally just use soy sauce, but we just have our own chutney made of like tomatoes, chilies, coriander, and like all the other ingredients, and we mix it together, eat it with momo. It's the best thing ever.
So let's say I would go to any random house in Nepal. What kind of foods I would find if I would, for example, open the fridge, or if I would open like the cupboard. For example, a typical Greek fridge would have feta, cheese, and yogurt.
Okay, I would say Nepali food just consists of a lot of like fresh ingredients. Like we, I mean, we love our butter, but then we don't really incorporate butter in our daily diet. But we would have like the bread and butter, but apart from that, we don't really have like a special ingredients. But I would say in a fridge, you would just find a lot of like fresh produce, like fresh vegetables, like and fruits. Oh, maybe yogurt, because like there's a special town near my city. They're like very well known for their own yogurt. It's very different from Greek yogurt. I
Okay.
have to say. It's they put sweet, like they put sugar in it, so it's very sweet, and it's not as silky as Greek yogurt. It's very like curdly. The only
Okay.
reason I'm talking about it is because my grandma loves the yogurt, and I don't think it's a very common thing you would have it, but like I'm talking about it because my grandma used to love the yogurt so much, and we used to have it like in the fridge all year around. And yeah, and then if you were to go to any home, and if you were our guest, you would we would always feed you rice. And
Rice. All right.
yeah,
Okay.
like rice is life. Like when I was in Nepal, I used to eat rice 3 times a day. Not even joking. I used to do that. We used to eat like leftover rice from yesterday as a breakfast, like fried rice in the morning, and then I used to go to school. Lunch would always like we would always have rice, and then a different variation of like side dishes or like curry and things like that. And then I would go home, have some like snack, and then the dinner would always be rice with like variation of like side dishes. It would always change, but yeah, rice is very very important for our diet. So yeah, honestly, rice is life. Yeah, and also, my our family used to own like a plot of land, and and then we had like someone like working on our land to produce us some organic rice. So we used to normally just get like organic rice from our fields. So yeah, it was really good. Yeah, they would like come to our house like say every like 6 months, and then get us like fresh batch of rice, and that used to be the best thing ever, honestly. Ugh.
Nice, nice stuff. Okay. Right. So I would like to ask you like two questions about, let's say, the new reality. So you left Nepal and you are in UK now. So I wanted to ask if, while living in the UK, if you have like adopted any behaviors or practices which people do here, or like celebrations that people things that people celebrate here things from the main culture, let's say.
I never celebrated Christmas before coming to the UK, and that's shocking, isn't it? I think I shocked a lot of people when I told them that I didn't used to celebrate Christmas. And even for like the first 5, 6 years, we didn't celebrate Christmas. Like, it was just not relevant for us. We just thought that why would we celebrate Christmas when we have our own tradition and cultures? But I think, I don't know what happened. It's just one year I decided that I was gonna buy a Christmas tree. And I bought a Christmas tree, and the next thing I know, my mom's making like a Christmas dinner set, like a list. And then the next thing I know, I am making Christmas food, and my sister's making a cake, and my brother's decorating the Christmas tree.
Was there a first reaction when you brought the Christmas tree home, or everything went natural?
No. It was just like, it wasn't spontaneous. I just said, hey, let's buy a Christmas tree. And everyone agreed. And we bought it.
Okay.
So yeah. I don't know what happened that year. We just happened to celebrate it. And yeah, ever since that we've been celebrating Christmas, and it is quite important to us. And I think like 2 years ago we had the biggest ever celebration, because like our family from London came to visit us for Christmas, and that never happens because during Christmas my mom and my dad, they always prefer to work because everyone would be off, so they would just pick up new shifts, and they would always work during Christmas. But yeah, 2 years ago we had the best ever Christmas, because we had like so many family members, and we never used to do gifts as well. Like, I never really got gifts for Christmas, but
Okay.
I got gifts for the first time. It felt really good. It was just like that moment, that family moment, when you realize like, oh my God, I have everyone here with me, and it's really like, it just makes you really happy and like thankful that they're all here with you. And although like I still have like a lot of family back home, it just makes you very like thankful that I at least have them. And so yeah, I think, yeah, I would say, yeah, it was a pretty nice thing that we kind of adopted a new culture, and then we're trying to make it work among ourselves. So yeah.
Okay. Nice, nice.
That's me.
But then I wanted to ask if there's anything else that you have, like, something that has improved your life. I mean, Christmas, okay, you just do it. You're in this culture, you're in the UK, you just adopt this thing from the main culture. But is there anything else that you like feel that it has actually improved your life in any way? For example, I say sorry more often, stuff like this. So things that have helped me and stuff like this. Or maybe I'm more tolerant in situations that I wasn't before. So I think this kind of behaviors that I have adopted here, they have helped me. So I was asking also if there's anything like that. I don't know.
I feel like when I moved here, I wasn't imagining myself like that I'd be surrounding with like so many people from so many like different backgrounds. Like, when I was in Nepal, I was surrounded by like just 100% just Nepali people, not even joking. And I never had that experience of just like, being around with so many different people from like so many different cultures and countries. And I feel like it definitely made me like an open-minded person, after like, because I feel like in every culture there is a sort of like everyone sort of makes assumptions about like the other culture, good or bad. So I feel like I've learned the actual truth by just being here myself, and like facing just being here, and like yeah, just being here in general has
Yeah.
taught me to like just, live a better life with people from like all over the country and just be acceptable. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I feel you. Yeah, I feel the same exactly. And it has helped me as well being more open minded. Yeah. Some people fear that by bringing two or more cultures together, there will be a loss of cultural identity and that at least one of the cultures will be eliminated. Other people believe that by bringing us together, all cultures will eventually be merged into one. I would like to know your opinion on that. And also, would you say that cultural evolution is a natural or an artificial process? And is the abandoning of older cultural practices in favor of others that serve better our current needs? Is this a threat to cultures? And last thing, if all different cultures decide to evolve, would you say that they would end up becoming identical? So I touched these points, and then I would love to hear you speaking on any of these points.
Well, it's a tough question. I mean, I would say, uh, like, so for example, it's not about it is a lot to do about my culture as well. So basically, my dad's side, um, they're very religious and they follow Hinduism. But my mother's side, um, they follow Buddhism, and I actually don't have a religion. So in my opinion, I don't feel like um, it like changes you. It just depends on
Mm-hmm.
like how you were brought up, like what values you were given. Because I feel like bringing tradition in just means like you'll see a lot more than what you would normally like experience. Because I get to celebrate all the all the festivals that Hindu people celebrate, and on top of that I can also experience a lot of um like the Buddhist side and like all the festivals that they celebrate as well. And in a way, I have more knowledge, I have more experience, and I really, really value that. But me not like but me not wanting to choose a faith has nothing to do with um it's just nothing to do with the religion. It's just my choice. But I do appreciate like what I learned from like both side of my family. Like every culture is so different. I don't think it will ever ever end up becoming identical. Like
Mm-hmm.
they all have their own they all have their own history behind it, right? So even if they yeah, like for my example, even if I was brought up with like both tradition, I don't think I ever like mixed them together because they were just so different. I just I don't know if that makes sense. But yeah.
It actually it makes very much sense because yeah, I do agree with you. It will not merge into one. For example, let's take you as an example of a person that is Nepali,
Mm-hmm.
is from Nepal, sorry, and you are a version that is evolved from like the Nepali people of previous
Hmm.
generations. And let's take
Yeah.
me that I am an evolved a version of Greek person that has evolved from the previous people that say again I share the similar thoughts as you. I have chosen not to be atheist, okay, let's face it.
Mm-hmm.
And the previous people, but previous generations were really focused on religion, but I don't want to focus only on religion.
Mm.
What I'm saying is that you and me have evolved. We are an evolved version
Yeah.
of our previous people, and yet we still have our differences regarding to culture. So I don't think, for example, by bringing you and me in the same room, by you and me being in the same, like, hanging out and being friends, I don't think this is a threat to any of you and me. Like, you know, I'm not gonna just deprive you from your rights to be who you want to be, and you know, make you eat yogurt, eat feta, or like I don't know what to say, or like swear like a Greek person.
No.
Which is like,
I feel like
it's just things.
Yeah, I feel like you used the right word. I feel like evolved is the right word, because tradition, like the younger generation, you know, will be evolved. Like tradition comes from like a rich history, but like, you know, we are the new generation, and what we'll do is just like still appreciate the tradition, but like we will go on and evolve, you know, and become a better person with it. So yeah, I feel like yeah.
Yeah, and
I feel
also,
like
for
evolution,
example,
cultural evolution is a natural process. I don't feel like
yeah, I agree with that as well. And it's no threat, because some people, for example, Greece is, I guess it's like Nepal. When I was there in Greece, because I'm from South Greece, we don't really have people around us. I mean, other countries, there is the sea around us, so we are far away. And so I grew up around basically Greek people. And so, you know, people were used to be afraid of anyone that is from a different country, because, oh, they will make us become this and forget our traditions and blah blah blah. No, this is totally wrong. And then, what is the bad thing? If, for example, in my father's village, they used to, every time somebody gets married, they used to hit him very hard at the back of his neck, and this is a custom. Okay. He didn't like it. When he described it to me, he didn't like it. He told me, I still remember those people that hurt me so much in the back of my neck. So is it a problem if, for example, I come here, let's say to the UK, and I see a different way of dealing with marriage and something? So is it bad? Does it really change who I am if I say, okay, this cultural practice from the village of my father does not serve me, I'm gonna leave it aside?
Yeah.
Does this mean that I'm not Greek anymore? No.
No.
I'm evolving, and I'm leaving back things that they no longer serve me, and I'm open to new things. But this doesn't change the fact that I choose a particular culture to be. I don't think people should see these as a threat, if that makes sense.
I feel like a lot of people think that tradition, I feel like tradition just be used as a guideline, you know. Some people like swear by their tradition, like abandoning some aspect of like your tradition doesn't mean that you're like fully abandoning everything. Like back in the days, like, you know, we lived a different life. So obviously they had reasons, and, you know, maybe it served purpose back in the day, but then we evolved as a human race, and we've gone through so much changes. So, you know, you should just be able to kind of like leave some aspect behind. And I don't think that's like completely abandoning everything, you know. do you agree with that?
No, I agree.
So yeah.
And then I wanted your opinion on something else. Well, let's say you and me, let's say we came to the UK, and there is already like a main culture, which is the English culture. How do people like come to another place should react? Because I feel I don't like it. Okay, on the one hand, I don't think that living with people from different cultures is a threat to you. But then, me as a person from another culture than the main one in the UK, I feel like I should not be close-minded, but show respect to the culture and maybe follow some things that I can, because I feel that there's some people that even when they move and they go to other countries, I feel like they stick to their own, own people, to their own groups. It's like they form like small countries within different countries, and I feel like in order to live happily all together and respect each other, I think it's like a two-side thing. We as people that come to another country, we should show the respect, and then people that are here, they should realize that we're not a threat to them. I don't know your opinion on this.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. I feel like when when someone comes from a different country and then starts living here, I feel like they should definitely have an open mind and respect, like, the tradition that's here, or like, even if it's really foreign to you, you should just be open-minded. And yeah, you should definitely like try and like mingle, around with different backgrounds, because I mean, why not just, I don't know, it's just like, I mean, you came here for a reason, right? You came here for like a better life, a better I don't know, to have like, a better life in general. So just make the most out of it, and then you should just go out there and like, like learn the culture, be there. So yeah, I completely agree with you.
Yeah. Take and give, like the good stuff. I totally agree with you. Yeah. Right. Okay. And to end this conversation, I'm going to ask you, teach us a word or a phrase to say if we ever come across to a person from Nepal.
Like I would say, are you doing well? So normally we greet each other by saying namaste.
Namaste. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and then after that we normally say sante hununta.
Sante.
So sante.
Sante humunta.
Hununta.
Okay. Sante hunhunta.
Ta.
Okay. Sanse hunhunta. Hunhunta. Hunhunta.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you would say namaste sante hununta, means like hi, are you doing well?
Okay. And what's the yes? I'm doing well, thank you.
Yeah, like you would say yes. Oh wait. You would say hazur masante tu. So hazur. Repeat after me. Hazur.
Hazur.
Yeah. Hazur. Ma sante tu.
Ma sante tu. Huh?
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah.
That's it. Okay. Nice.
Tu. Hazur. Would be like, oh, namaste sante hununta, and then be like, hazur ma sante tu.
Okay. Nisha, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here, for the interview,
it was
for your
actually
time.
So
I know it
fun.
took a long time.
I feel like I got to know you even more. Like, I don't feel like we had this conversation before. So I feel like I know a lot about you as well. But, yeah.
Well, I learned a lot about you as well. Remember that day when we were watching like weddings, traditional Nepali, gurung weddings.
Yes.
Remember that?
Oh my god,
that was so cool as well.
We should do that more often.
Yeah. Okay, Nisha, thank you so much for
Thank you,
everything.
Cece, for inviting me.
See you
Alright.
Alright.
Bye.